In order to sew an invisible zip, you're going to need your lining, main fabric, and your zip. First thing you need to do is mark your zip allowance. In this case, I used 1 inch for my zip allowance on both sides. Next thing you need to do is sew your center back seam. Once you're done with that, the next thing to do is sew your zip. In order to sew your zip, what you need to do is place your zip bar front side to front side on facing each other on your fabric. In some cases, if you have the chance to be able to sew your zip first before attaching the lining, then that's perfect. If not, then it might not be so easy to do this. So sometimes what I do is, instead of pinning it, I actually hand stitch the zipper before taking it to the machine. If you have an invisible zipper first, then that is perfect because it helps you to get as close to the zipper as possible. Now, once you're done sewing one side, you do the same thing on the second side. In this case, you just have to be careful not to twist the zip, because I've had issues where when I started sewing zippers, I twisted my zip. So same thing, align your zipper right side facing right side and then sew on the second side. Once you're done with that, this is what the zip looks like, which is really good. One thing I would say is try not to stretch the zip so that one side will not be longer than the other. Next thing to do is sew your lining to your main fabric. So the center back seam of your lining also, and also top stitch the neckline. The reason for top stitching is so that your fabric stays and the lining doesn't drop out from the neckline. The final step is to sew your lining and your fabric along the zip seam. That is your center back seam. When I make wedding dresses, half the time I can't reach it as I'm reaching it in this tutorial video, so I usually hand stitch. I fold the lining and then hand stitch. But if you can reach it, that is perfect. You sew along as close as possible to the zip as you can. And what I do is I actually trim my seam allowance so that my fabric won't look bulky. When it's bulky, it doesn't look nice, but when it's not bulky, it looks really nice. Last thing after that is press. Don't forget to keep pressing as you work, but press your seam, and this is how your zip looks like. If you want to learn something else, otherwise see you in the next video. Bye bye.